Alexander Rigsby, who is giving a persuasive speech.
Hunger is big in this world. It's everywhere we look. It's in books, it's in movies, it's in magazines, and it's even on the internet. Hunger is also big in America. Places like New York, Chicago, Georgia, and even Florida. Now, what many of you might not know about Florida, according to US Census, 16.1% of people in Florida are unsure if they're going to get their next meal or how they're going to go about it. What else you might not know about Florida is that hunger is very prevalent in Lake County, where we live right now. And many of you might know that there are people struggling buying food right now, but a lot of us just brush it off and think, hey, it's not my problem. Other people are taking care of it. Some people are in the mindset that professionals are the people donating to the food pantries. They must be getting paid somehow or in some way. They are special people. They are chosen to donate to the food pantries. But the thing is, the people who are helping the food pantries are normal people like me and like you. The only difference between us and them is they not only know about the problem or feel sorry about the problem, they actually do something about the problem. They act on the problem. And the problem is poor people who can't afford food for themselves or for their starving families. Now, I'd like to tell you a story about my past so you can see more clearly why I'm up here speaking to you, why I actually care. Now, I was adopted from Russia when I was 8. Before that, I was in an orphanage. And before that, I was homeless. So I remember how it feels to not eat for periods of time. I remember having to alternate meals between my grandparents and my brother. Only one of us got to eat a day. There's only one meal going to be eaten a day, and only one of us got to eat it. So you can imagine how hard it was to sit there and watch someone eat, while the rest of us had to wait to eat on some other day and have them watch us and feel a bit more guilty about it. That's why I'm up here speaking to you about this significantly important matter, because I know how it feels to be the people struggling with food. Now, going back to the people who donate to food pantries to help out the food pantries, they're normal people like us. I know I already went over all that, but I think it's a little more important to expand on this just a little bit more to show you what I'm really trying to get at. Lake County is our community, and aren't we, the citizens of Lake County, supposed to take care of our community? And no, I don't mean to adopt a road or adopt a highway kind of take care of. I mean, that is taking care of your community. But what I mean to take care of the community is take care of the people living in it. Now, to be honest, the different land, the stores, and the different places like Epic, your grocery stores, your skating rink, do not make our community. The people are the community. So when I say take care of your community, I mean take care of the people in need, because they are the community, and they're the ones who need help. And a great way to do that is donate to Lake County food pantries. Now I'm challenging you, my audience, to take care of your and my community. Now I'm going to let you know what kind of people go to these food pantries. They are obviously poor, but the thing that stuck out to me the most about it was that they have kids. And those kids are dependent on the free lunch they get at school because they have no money to buy it themselves. According to Florida Department of Education, in 2000, there was 29,000 kids on the free lunch plan in Lake County. But 10 years later, from 2000 to 2010, it raised 11,000 kids to 41,000 kids total on the free lunch plan in Lake County. So that's at least 1,000 kids adding to the free lunch plan a year. It's 2012 now, so there's probably over 43,000 kids on the free lunch plan right now, and it's still climbing. So that means the percentage of need is rising year by year. Now, if you're up to the challenge, I know of a great food pantry to donate to. That's the Real Life Food Pantry at Real Life Christian Church. If you don't know where Real Life Christian Church is, I can tell you where it is after this. They feed about 200 people a week, and they even have a summer kid pack food program for the kids who are dependent on the free lunch during the school year. During the summer, I'm sorry. While the school gives them free food during the year, Real Life gives them free food during the summer when there is no school. I talked to the director of the food pantry, Mrs. Mo Midlow, and these are the type of things they're okay with accepting as donations. They're okay with canned goods, perishables, milk, because they have a place to store that, canned dog food, and toiletries, like toilet paper, toothpaste, paper towels, normal things like that. And also, if you want to volunteer and serve that way, contact Lisa Goffnet at getreallife.com. Now, don't take my word for it. I have slips of paper with their email on them, so if you really want to help, I can give you a slip of paper afterwards. Now, when I was hungry, I didn't really get a lot of help. So I've grown up with thoughts like nobody really cares about me, things like that because of my past. So I want to grow up knowing that I had the opportunity to help kids who are growing up like I was and not help them. So I need your help to show these kids that they're loved and that they're thought of. Now, next week, I'll be coming back to accept all your wonderful donations in rooms 23 and 25 in the kids area, where they have classes. Thank you. Is this on? There once was a quilt maker who kept a house in the blue misty mountains of high. Even the oldest, the great-great-grandfather, could not recall a time when she was not up there, sewing away day after day. Here and there, wherever the sun warmed the earth, it was said that she made the most prettiest quilts anybody had ever seen. The Quilt Maker's Gift by Jeff Brombaugh. Now some said that there was magic in her fingers, and others whispered that her needles and claws were just bewitched. And still, people said that our quilts fell to earth from the shoulders of passing angels. Now many people climbing her mountain, pockets bursting with gold, hoping to buy one of the wonderful quilts. But the woman would not sell them. On the darkest and coldest nights, she would make her way down the mountain to the town below. There, she would wander the cobblestone streets until she suddenly came upon someone sleeping outside the chill. And then, she would take a new finished quilt from her bag, wrap it around her shivered shoulders, tuck them in tight, and tiptoe away. Now at this time, there also lived a very powerful and greedy king who liked nothing more than to receive presents. The hundreds of thousands of gifts he got for his birthday were never enough. So a law was passed that the king would celebrate his birthday twice a year. And still, when that wasn't enough, the king ordered soldiers to go out into the kingdom in search of people not yet given him something. One day, a soldier rushed into the kingdom by the news of a magic quilt maker who kept house in the mountains. The king stamped his foot. And how is it that this person has never given water quilts as a gift? He demanded. Well, she'll make them for 20 needy, Your Majesty, and she'll not sell for any amount of money. Well, we shall see about that. Give me a horse and 1,000 soldiers. And they went in search of the quilt maker. But when they got there, the quilt maker merrily laughed. I only make my quilts for the poor and the needy, and I can easily see that you are neither. I want one of those quilts. Might be the one thing that'll make me happy. The quilt maker thought about this for a moment. Make presents of everything you own, and I'll make you a quilt. And each and every time you give something away, I will sew on another piece. Give away all my wonderful treasures? I don't give things away, I take them. And with that, he ordered soldiers to seize the beautiful star quilt in the quilt maker's hands. But when they rushed upon her, the quilt maker threw it out the window. A big gust of wind carried it up and away. Now the king was very angry with the quilt maker, so he marched her down to the mountain, up another mountain, where he had his royal iron maker to make a thick bracelet, and they chained her to a rock. Once more, the king requested a quilt from the quilt maker, and once more, she refused. Well, finally, when this bear wakes up, I'm sure he'll make a very fine breakfast to you. He marched away. Later that day, when the bear woke up and saw the quilt maker in his cave, he stood on his mighty hind legs and on a big roar. Whoa! And rattled her bones. She looked up at him. It's no wonder that you're so grouchy. You're gonna have to put rocks to rest your head on at night. Give me an armful of pine needles, and with my shawl, I'll make you a big pillow. And that's exactly what she did. It had been many years since anybody was that nice to the bear, so he broke her bracelet and asked her to stay the night. Now the king was very, very good at being greedy, but he was very bad at being mean. So he woke up all his soldiers and they marched in their pajamas to the cave to feed her. When they got there, the quilt maker and the bear were having a fine breakfast of berries and honey. Oh, I give up! What must I do to get one of those quilts? The king demanded. As I promised you long ago, you give away all your wonderful treasures, and when at last all your wonderful treasures are gone, I will make you a quilt. Finally, if I'm supposed to give away all my treasures, then I must. So with that, the king went to his palace and searched from top to bottom for something he could bear to give away. Finally, frowning, he came out with a single marble. But the boy who received it smiled so brightly in return, the king went back for more things. Eventually, the king came out with a pile of velvet coats and went about the town giving to people dressed only in rags. All were so pleased that they marched up and down the street in a grand parade. And then the king fetched his merry-go-round, and with the real horses, the children cried with delight as they cartwheeled around him. And then smiles and smiles began to show on the king's face. Now the king looked about him, and all the dancing and merrymaking and happiness his gifts had brought. A child took him by the hand and pulled him into the dance. And the king smiled and even laughed out loud. How can this be? How can I be so happy by giving my things away? Bring everything out at once. Meanwhile, the quiltmaker kept the word and started making a special quilt for the king. But at last, there was no one in town who not yet received something. The king decided to go out into the world in search of people who might be needing his gifts. But before he left, he promised the quiltmaker to sit back a sparrow each time he gave something away. On and on, the quiltmaker worked, and piece by piece, the more beautiful the king's quilt became. Finally, one day, a weary sparrow flew through the quiltmaker's window and perched on her needle. Then and there, she knew it was the last messenger. She put a final stitch in the quilt and went down the mountain in search of the king. After a very, very long search, he finally found him. His royal clothes were tattered, and his toes poked out of his boots. But his laugh was wonderful and thunderous. And then the quiltmaker took out the king's quilt. It was so beautiful, the hummingbirds and butterflies fluttered about. And then on tiptoe, she tenderly wrapped it around his shoulders. "What's this?" the king cried. "As I promised you long ago, that you yourself, when that you became poor, I will make you a quilt. But I am not poor. I may look poor, but my heart is full of bursting with the happiness I have given and received. I am the richest man I know. Nevertheless, I made this quilt for you." Thank you.